Welcome to TORAH Talk. I'm your host, William Hall, broadcasting live out of Kingsland, Texas, USA, with another episode of Hebrew for Fun and Profit with our teacher, Gavriel Sanders. Thank you again for tuning in, and Gavriel, thank you so much for showing back up again. You have continuously been proving yourself to not be one easily ran off, so that's good.
Well, you don't want to be run off by somebody from down in Texas because they got things that can whoop you upside the head now, you know? Anyway, Bruchim Abayim L'Kul Hatzofim Shelanu. Wonderful blessings to all those who are watching today. And if you'll forgive my eyes kind of dipping from here to just up behind here because I have two screens I'm working on. So it's not that I am not paying attention to you, William. I'm happy to be with you. Thank you so much for hosting and for all the incredible work that you do. I don't think our viewers know how much work goes on behind the scenes to create a really quality set of programming here on this expanding channel. So I just appreciate it because you could be doing a dozen other things with your valuable time, and you're dedicating it to these subjects and to this constituency and your growing global audience. So you didn't ask me to plug that, but I'm doing it because, you know, at the rates you're paying me, I can say what I want, and I just did. We really, really appreciate you and the sacrifices that you make to provide this level of resource. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that as well. Yeah, it was actually quite neat. Rabbi Singer surprised me at the end of the show half an hour ago. There was talk about the ArtScroll thing, and I said, yeah, just type in this code, you know, Gavriel 20, and then I could just see he was just kind of really paying attention, and then I said, thanks to Gavriel Sanders teaching on Hebrew, and he goes, I think he interrupted me. I can't remember. It was so fast. Everything just happened so fast. And man, he just went off on you. I was like, wow, that's cool. So you guys will probably be in touch quite a bit soon, I imagine. So
I hope. It's been a while since we've spoken directly.
Right. Well, he thinks very highly of you for sure.
Well, we've done some interesting things together in the past, both in terms of lectures, and then he refers to a trip that he took in 2005, just 2-3 months before Gush Katif was emptied out, and we were there together. It was a very short, like a 3-day trip with New York State Assemblyman Dov Hikind and 124 other people, including a whole batch of Baptist ministers from Oklahoma, as well as a New York State Senator and some others. That's a whole. If you ever get him to talk about that trip, a little more depth and insight.
How long ago was this?
This was 2005.
2005. I got you. I have relatives in Oklahoma, and among them were a couple of Baptist ministers, but that was much earlier in the time, but still, that's interesting. Wow.
Understood. Okay. Well, listen, today's programming, I should mention, it has something for everybody, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for some that. Because it's intended to show some resources that might appeal at a certain level to people that are a little bit more intermediate and advanced. But the fact that we're documenting these and providing links and explaining what they are means that people will be able to have these at their fingertips. Because remember, as you're going to see on the first slide that comes up, I don't qualify or define myself here as a moreh le'ivrit, Hebrew teacher. I'm a madrich le'ivrit. I'm a guide to Hebrew, or what they also call in Hebrew a moreh derech. So it's like somebody who takes you off on an excursion, and you have to do the work and you have to do the walk. But I'm really here to expose you to a plethora of resources. I am working on something behind the scenes to provide another avenue where we can actually take a text and work all the way through it with modules that then people can select along the way where they want to drop in. If they want to get in on the beginning, they want to get in on the middle, get in the end. But I have to work out some things with the publisher to get some permissions. But stay tuned for that. In the meantime, what we've been doing, and this is our 6th segment, say that 10 times. This is our 6th segment, our 6th part. Today we're going to be looking at, as I said, a variety of interesting resources. But I guess let me start the screen sharing. Should I do that?
Yes, please. That sounds great. Thanks.
Okay, as I put on my bug-eyed reading glasses.
No problem.
I was nearsighted for many, many years, and then I had some eye surgery a few years back, and I have wonderful distance vision, which I never had growing up, but I have to wear these little bug eye guys that Okay, so from the beginning. Oh, I should actually do that same thing I always forget to do each week, which is share screen.
That'll work.
Start, and let me know when you got it.
Okay, it's up. Very good.
Okay, and we go over here, and we change to here, and we go to here, and you should have it. Okay?
Nice. I removed my ugly mugshot from there, so you're.
That's okay. So, as we did last week, I really want to try to dedicate each program and the learning that we do, whether it's for today or going on into the many months and even years from now. Today's program is dedicated in memory of David ben Elimelech Lapa, alav shalom, actually my father-in-law, who left this world nearly 4 years ago, which was on the 20th of the month of Elul. Today is Aleph Chodesh Elul, the first day of the Hebrew month of Elul. And we will talk a bit more about Elul as a precursor, as a ramp up to Rosh Hashanah in the coming lessons. This is his, what's known as kever in Hebrew, his gravesite. It's in the land of Israel. He was born in Poland in 1933, but when he was 2 years old, his father had the foresight to get the family to Israel. And many people in the village where they came from in southern Poland did not survive, but they did. They went through tremendous hardship. But in the 50s, my father-in-law came to America to learn and found a wonderful woman, my mother-in-law, and got married, and the rest is history. There's quite a bit written here on his gravesite, and I wanted to just share with you some of these words. He was a ish nadiv lev, a man of generous heart, a bitachon b'Hashem me'ozo, that his rock, his fortress, was trusting in Hashem. Amelut b'Torah she'ifato, that laboring in the Torah was his ambition. Ahav et abriot v'kirvan laTorah. He loved this is a word that means people, briot, but it also means the creations. He loved everything that Hashem had created, especially people, and he drew them near to the Torah. B'msirut he'emid alfei talmidim, that in dedication he established, or he caused to stand is the right word, he'emid. He rose up, or raised up thousands of students. He was a teacher for many years. Hishrish bahem uvnei mishpachto. He caused there to be rooted within them and in his children, his descendants, darchei haTorah v'mitzvot, the ways of Torah and the mitzvot. Chavab Eretz Yisrael. He was a lover of the land of Israel. V'da'ag lishloma, and he was always concerned about the welfare, the peace of the land of Israel. And so, as I said, he was born in the 30s, and he left this world on Chaf Elul, the 20th of Elul, back just about 4 years ago. Tafshin Ayin Beit. We are in Tafshin Ayin Vav right now, about to go into Tafshin Ayin Zayin. So, Abba, this is for you.
Awesome.
A couple important greetings, maybe 3 greetings I wanted to mention to you very quickly. We know how to say Boker Tov and Erev Tov and Laila Tov and those kinds of simple good morning, good afternoon, and good evening and good night. When the ebbing of Shabbat happens, like last night, today is Sunday, we're making this recording on the 4th of September, 2016. So last night was Saturday night, but for a Jewish family, it's Motzei Shabbat, the outgoing or the leaving of Shabbat. And when Shabbat leaves, we start to say Shavua Tov. We wish each other a good week, Shavua Tov. And we say that for 2-3 days, when we see somebody. This is a new month. And so coming up to the new month, starting a couple of days ago, certainly today, and anybody else I bump into maybe this week, we'll wish them a Chodesh Tov. We'll wish them a good month. And then since Rosh Hashanah is coming up, just about right at a month from now, we wish each other a Shana Tova Umtuka. Shana Tova Umtuka, which means a good and a sweet year. There are other greetings that we also weave into this, but these are some simple ones for right now. Shavua Tov, Chodesh Tov, Shana Tova Umtuka. This one you'll see on a lot of greeting cards and so forth. It's a bit more what we call parv, a bit more neutral. There are others that we say that really specifically have to say with someone being inscribed in the book of life, etc. So, but we'll get to all that. So today's program is directed toward advanced or intermediate advanced, but something for everybody is here. We've done our dedication. I want to talk about a little bit from our homework from last week, using Anki cards to build vocabulary. And then, in fact, why don't let me see if I can jump right to that right now from here and see what happens. Yeah, it went right there, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Teach me Hebrew.
Okay. Okay, so the Anki cards are used for all kinds of languages, and the beauty of going to Anki and setting up your own customized cards, and by the way, there's a whole bunch of them already ready for you. All you have to do is download them, and it will automatically sequence the learning for you and give you automatic repetition that you can set up on your own comfort level. So if you need it more frequent or less frequent, it will do that repetition for you, so that you're not sitting there shuffling through cards by hand. There's an algorithm that does that for you. And Shalom. Oh, this is the fun part when it all starts popping up. Let's go to this, for example, 100 basic Hebrew phrases. Now this is coming back from off of the website where we were before in a referral, but here's some samples from. And I don't know if these will play. If you can hear these, let me know. I'm going to click on this. Tell me if you can hear this.
No, I can't hear it. I could probably pull it up on my side and play it if you wanted to do that.
Okay, so if you can grab that URL that's right there at ankiweb.net.
Here, let me tap it in. Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, it's ankiweb.net/shared/info.
Slash, is that like the minus sign or a forward slash?
It's a forward slash.
Okay, so ankiweb.net/
shared
SHRD
/info.
Okay.
Forward slash 313-751 3112.
Got it.
So see if that works.
Okay, and there it is. Now let me get my capture audio pauses on. Let me turn the volume up. Okay, so
come down toward the bottom where you see sample from 101 notes.
Okay, hang on, let me turn this other mic up. Okay, check 1 2, check test. Okay, so I'm on that main page and I see.
Come down toward the bottom.
Okay, I see it. You got the first Hebrew English sound translation tags.
Right.
Oh yeah. Do it again. Can you hear that?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, good.
So what you can hear is these are just phrases, a number of different, like 100 different phrases. They have individual words as well and numbers, and there's a ton of material here. You've got several hundred Anki cards available to you. I've come down to the next one. Is my screen still up or yours is up?
It's up. Yours is good.
Okay, so come down and let's play this one here. This is someone saying, like if you're shopping, I'm just looking. What it does, it gives you two repetitions or two passes at the masculine version, and two of the feminine. So if you were in a store and you were shopping and they say, Efshar la'azolach, is it possible to help you, saying to a lady, or Efshar la'azolacha, to a man, here's a possible response. Go ahead and click it.
אני רק מסתכל. אני רק מסתכל. אני רק מסתכלת. אני רק מסתכלת.
Okay, and then let's take the last one here as an example.
Okay.
אני צריך ללכת עכשיו. אני צריך ללכת עכשיו. אני צריכה ללכת עכשיו. אני צריכה ללכת עכשיו.
And as you can tell, they present it to you the first time around at a natural rate of speed, and your mind is going, whoa, slow down. And then the second time they repeat it, it's a little bit slower. So when you go to the site there, you can download this pack of cards, really, and put it to work. And it's a great way. You've got so many things here: 500 basic Hebrew words, 100 basic Hebrew verbs, 100 basic Hebrew phrases. All of this from this site here, Teach Me Hebrew. Now, there are a number of things here that I don't particularly like. A lot of the music that's here I don't particularly care for. It's very what I call secular music, and I'm looking more for a spiritual connection, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. And a lot of those are very advanced level vocabulary and nuances, but the grammar section here is quite good. This is quite good if you need to learn to read. Here, there's some information on their YouTube channel. So, a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I'd give this about a 7.5. Also, this list we looked at before of the 10,000 most common words. If you're an intermediate speaker or you consider yourself more advanced, then you can really check yourself against an objective list and find out where the holes are for your own vocabulary. So that's one of the reasons I like this particular site. Okay, so as we continue,
Very good.
there's some other online learning tools that we're talking about. This is a great one. I actually subscribe to this one, which is called Do It in Hebrew. Funny name, but it has a lot of great resources to it. I use it a lot to check spelling sometimes if I'm uncertain of something. If I want to look up, for example, a particular conjugation of a verb. Let's take something simple. You can type in a word in English, for example, the word walk. Let's go to walk. Can you see this adequately sized on your screen?
I'm actually adjusting the zoom as we go, so we're good to go. We can see it just fine, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I go to translate it, and it gives me the word lelechet. And I'm sorry about all these pop-ups. I'm going to show you, by the way, a way to get rid of a lot of that stuff in a moment. Let me cue you. Just remind me of the word brave,
Okay.
and we'll go to that. So here we have the word lelechet, but you say, well, how do I know what the vowel points are? Well, notice right here, you can actually click on the vowel points. I don't need that. You know what? I'm going to switch to another. This is coming up in a Bing browser.
Okay.
So let me come up in another one here, like this, like this, like this. There we go. Because I have an automatic login there. That's a little better. Should be a little bigger as well.
Okay.
So I'll come over here to go to English, from English to Hebrew. So I'll put in their word here, to walk. Translate. There it is. But I want to see the vowel points. There it is. Does it for me? Lelechet. I want to hear it. And it gives it to me. I can hear the word lelechet. Well, how is it if I wanted to handwrite it? How would that look? It shows you.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So this is about a $5 a month subscription that I have, but even more if I go down.
Now, is it the subscription that allows you the vowel points and the extras? Because I've seen this, I've used this app before, even on my phone, and I've never seen the vowel points or the audio part.
Right, there are extras here that that they give you. So I also can keep saved words that if I come up with different expressions, or I'm assembling a group of words for a particular work I'm doing with my students. Like there's a nice phrase, an idiom that I found, chad v'chalak, plain and simple. And then I want to do one other thing here. Let me go from here to, let's say the word talk. Just trying this on the fly. It's diburim. So it gives you, as you go further down, it gives you resources from a number of different online dictionaries. So you can see it in English and in Hebrew. Gives it to you phonetically as well, synonyms for a particular word. For example, down here, ledaber, to speak, lesochecha, it actually should be lesocheach, which is to converse, lemalel, which means like to mutter. There's a lot of different enrichment that you find at this particular site at Do It in Hebrew. Now, I wanted to talk as well a little bit today about cracking the code on, there we go, on something that comes up frequently in Hebrew, and it drives a lot of people crazy, and which is known as Hebrew abbreviations. Yet we have to remember that the printing costs, the Gutenberg press, which is one of which was the great, it was like the internet of the ancient world, of the medieval world anyway. It cost a lot of money to set up that movable type. So in order to save money, to save space on printing costs, the sages of the time and the publishers of Hebrew documents would resort to these what are known as kitzurim, this kind of shorthand or abbreviations, rashi tevot, which are the beginning letters, initial letters. So if you saw something like RH, that could stand for Rosh Hashanah. It would be, of course, using Hebrew letters. So rashi tevot are very, very common, and they take a while to learn. Now, if you grow up with them, you're used to them. But if you're learning Hebrew along the way, they can really be something. Now, I found this interesting link today that I'll share with you right now. Hopefully it'll come right up. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, and let me go full screen on it so you can see it a little bit better. Is that pretty good?
Yes, and I can zoom into it also.
All right, so this is a book that was published in 1887. It's called Ketonet Yosef. Ketonet is the Joseph's Code of Many Colors, Ketonet Yosef, a handbook of Hebrew abbreviations. It was actually published in Bombay, of all places, Mumbai, as we call it today. And you can see down here the price was 2 rupees. Okay, I have no idea how much that cost in those days. But as you come into it, there's some interesting background here about the difficulty of learning Hebrew, and I imagine it was if you didn't have an outlook for speaking it. But here's what I'm talking about: these Rashi Tevot, which means the heads of words. Basically means initials, first letters. So it tells you what Aleph stands for. Here's, if you see 2 Alephs. This could be Avraham Avinu, Abraham our father. It could be the word Efshar, impossible. That one you see quite a bit. Amen, v'amen, amen, amen. You just a lot of different ones that these letters stand for. And the people who were familiar with the context of what's being said would understand them. So here's just kind of leafing through. You see how many there are. There's a lot. The word Tanakh, for example, is not an actual word. It consists of 3 initial letters, as we know. And so here we have the letter Beit and the letter Hey, which can stand for Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple. It could stand for Baruch Hu, a blessing of Hashem. Many, many different things. Beit Hillel, the house of Hillel, as opposed to the house of Shammai. So you see that we have many, many, many of these Rashi Tevot, and this is one resource that you can go to find it. Not every day can you find a book that's from 1887 online. This was done by a certain grant, and that resource is available to you. There's another one that I wanted to show you as well from a site known as kitzur.co.il, which is an Israeli site, and let me pull that up for you. It's not there. It's probably over here. Nope, it's not there either. I think I put it up here, and I need to bring it down. Just a second. Yes. Okay. There it is. Is that in your screen?
It is now, yes.
Okay. So this is the kitzur.co.il. This is Kitzurim v'Rashi Tevot b'Ivrit. So it's abbreviations and initials in Hebrew, and there's just a ton here. So again, as I said, today it's a bit more appealing toward an advanced group. I put in here, if you look here in the little search box, the letter Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed, which is the word Elul, Rosh Chodesh Elul. And Elul, as an acronym, stands for several things. We mentioned last week, Ani, Ledodi, Vidodi, Li. You see right there. I am my beloved's, and he is mine. Everybody knows that particular phrase from the Song of Songs, Shir Shirim. But there are also other references that this can be. For example, from the book of Deuteronomy, Et levavcha ve'et levav, he goes on to say, Banecha. You see here, Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed, Elul. There's a phrase also from the book of Esther, Ish l'rayato, umatanot le'evyonim. This stands for each person to his neighbor and gifts to the poor. So this is so what we have here when we come to the month of Elul, we have an emphasis on what it's about. It's about getting close to our beloved. It's about having this. The context of this particular verse from Deuteronomy has to do with the circumcision of the heart. This particular verse has to do with charitability, that in the month of Elul we ramp up and we increase our charitable efforts. And so these words, these Rashi Tevot, give us hints and insights. And of course, Tanakh is filled with these. It's incredible. It's a whole huge study in itself. So if you're looking for insights on this particular subject matter, I'm pulling over here the word Yahadut, which means Judaism. There we go. And you can go right down a whole list here. These are ones just starting out, but this is starting the head of the list with Aleph. Look at this. This is just amazing. How long that one is?
Wow.
And this says, Im ein omrim el erech hapayim, ein omrim av harachamim. So it means if you're not saying that Hashem is tolerant, I guess you would say, or if he holds back his anger, then you can't say also that he's the father of all mercies. This is related to Rosh Hashanah and other aspects of tefillah, of prayer. So it's quite fascinating. It's a huge amount of information that's here at this particular site. So someone who's looking for, this is something to bookmark. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention to you, this is where you need to say, hey, Gavriel, brave. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
All right, so you'll notice that typical of so many sites, this has got all this fashion stuff here that's probably some advertiser, and I don't particularly like that. You know, I don't need to see all that stuff, and sometimes it's far worse than that. As you know, we all suffer from that if you go to certain news sites and you see more than you wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
So my son-in-law introduced me to a new browser. You see that little lion right there, called Brave, B-R-A-V-E, brave.com. You can go there and you can download a beta version of this new browser that is basically, you can see the same information here pretty much. It's from the same source, but all that is stripped out. It's just the straight information that I want to deal with.
Nice.
And so if you go to, once again, go to brave.com, load it on, use it like you would any other Chrome or IE or any of the other browsers are there. It's still a work in progress. There's plans for this browser to become mostly a financial transaction type of browser. But in the same token, it filters out not everything, but certainly a lot of the content, gets the cookie issue, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So I just wanted to mention that to everybody because most of us are concerned about the quality of our browsing and viewing experience, and we don't need little surprises that
Sure.
bombard our eyes in inappropriate ways. So that's that I wanted to mention to you. And then one other thing I wanted to share with you as well today is this one, known as Sefaria. You can see the word here, sefaria.org. And Sefaria is fantastic. I spend a lot of time at Sefaria. Let me bring this link down to you right here. Is that in front of you?
Yep. Got
Okay.
it.
So Sefaria comes from the word sefer, S-E-F-E-R would be the word transliterated. And when we go to sefaria.org, you can create your own login. It's free. And this is the home page. Just look at all that's here: Tanakh, Mishnah, Talmud, Midrash, Halacha, Kabbalah, liturgy. Now everybody's going to run to Kabbalah, and I'm going to tell you, don't go there. That'd be like telling a first grader, go to the trigonometry page.
Right.
Don't go there. There's tons and tons here to help you. I suggest especially in Musar, some Jewish philosophy. There's some great books that are here. You can get totally lost here, but let's just go to Tanakh. Let's say you're trying to think, oh, isn't there a verse in Hosea that says something about taking with you words and returning to Hashem? Yes, okay, let me just go to Hosea here, and there it is. And I happen to remember it's in chapter 14, so I come down here and I look for chapter 14. And now this will pull it up. I've got it right here, all in English. Somebody asked me the other day, is there a good online reliable translation in English? This one's okay. It's a bit dated. It was done by the JPS. But you can also click on here and get both the English and the Hebrew. So if we come down here, and there it is. No, this is chapter 12. Excuse me. I want chapter 14. I apologize. This is real time, everyone. There we go. And here's the verse I was looking for. Right here.
Nice.
K'chu imachem dvarim v'shuvu el Hashem. So take with you words with you, return to Hashem. So you can look up in the search here by verse reference, or if you wanted to do a word study on something that was pertaining to, let's say, the word atonement, and you want to find out, there's 1,008 texts here, and you want to filter it in some way. So you can filter it by just maybe just Tanakh, and maybe you just want to look at one particular book, maybe the book of Exodus, and so you can do that and come down, and you'll see where it's set there. and it'll give you various commentaries. So this is something that, for your own biblical enrichment, you can spend some great time at Sefaria. But there are others who would say, well, gee, I'm not really quite at that level yet. What should I do? And that's where I wanted to kind of come to a close today with some recommended texts for your library. Let me switch this over so you've got the big screen again. There you go. I'm sorry for the back and forth. Oh, there we go. Okay. We've mentioned this once before, and that is the ArtScroll English Tanakh. And we have established a nice relationship with ArtScroll for our viewers here with Friends of Tanakh Talk, and specifically those who come to Hebrew for Fun and Profit. And we've established a kind of an ongoing 20% discount for all book products from ArtScroll. Here's a sample page from, happens to be Isaiah 53, as a matter of fact. How did that get there? But this is a sample page from the ArtScroll English Tanakh, and one of the features that is in the ArtScroll English Tanakh is not just a good, reliable translation from the Hebrew to the English, but also down in here, if you come like Isaiah 53, some of the passages that have been co-opted in the missionary world, some of those are treated gently, subtly in the context here of the commentary. So you'll find that there. It's definitely worthy to have. I think that comes in 2 or 3 different sizes. Something else that's very important, I think, is to have on your library is the ArtScroll Interlinear Chumash. The word Chumash comes from the word Chamesh, 5. We know there are 5 books of Moses. So the 5 books together, in Hebrew we call it the Chumash. Here's a sample from the first the chapter of Genesis. As you can see, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim v'et haaretz, and you can see the English words under here. This is Rashi's commentary, which for a lot of people will be not so readable because it's in Rashi script and not pointed. But more importantly, there's the commentary down here as well that goes along with it. So you can get the books individually by each book of the Chumash, or you can get it bound together in one volume. And if that seems a bit daunting for you, there's one other that I would recommend, and that's the Book of Psalms, Sefer Tehillim, that's also in an interlinear format, thanks to the generosity of the Schottenstein family, again, for their kindness to us through the years to make these available. So it's very easy to see Psalm chapter 1, okay? Ashrei ha'ish asher lo alach, whoops, I think we got away from it. Lo alach ba'atzat reshaim, uvaderech chataim, lo amad. Uva moshav leitzim lo yashav. So it's very easy to follow through to see what it is. By the way, any of you that are Spanish speakers, ArtScroll put out an interlinear Spanish book of Tehillim.
Oh wow!
So
nice.
if you want to learn Spanish, or you to improve your Spanish, then that's available also. So we can do that. So I had a long-term relationship with ArtScroll for a number of years. I still do a little bit of side work for them. And that's how we're able to have this kind of benefit. So these are some things that I wanted to share with you today to deepen and widen your resource base.
You can unscreen share now if you want.
Okay, and last thing, I guess, is if you need to get in touch, GavrielSanders@gmail.com, and I'll go let me get back over here. Where is, I've lost my connection to me here. Stop sharing. There we go.
You get it?
There we go. Stop screen sharing. Okay, good.
There you are. Very good. Very good.
All right.
Hey, just a testimony too. We actually have we bought the interlinear Chumash a couple years back, and it came in a 5-volume set. And man, I absolutely love it. The print, the Hebrew print, is just really nice and chunky. I mean, it's really easy to see. Got the great vowel points. And I used that set of books for well over a year, thumbing through the pages, memorizing words and stuff, because everything is so easy to see. And I really love it. I mean, it's just an amazing set altogether. I think we paid quite a bit of money for it, like $150 or something, or 100 or something. I can't remember. But it was worth it.
It's definitely worth it. It's one of those things that you
penny.
use for the rest of your life, because, as we've said before, Hebrew is, not an event.
Right. Right.
It's really a lifestyle, a process. I've been doing it for decades, and I'm still learning new things all the time. Hebrew is a dynamic language, as well as what we'd call the more fixed aspect of it from the biblical sense, which is not evolving, but modern Hebrew certainly is. We talked last week a bit about the learning modern Hebrew is an easier portal to biblical Hebrew, and there's so many resources online available. Some of them, as I said, are questionable. You have to be careful where you're ending up. You might be getting little extras that you didn't really plan on. So if you have any questions about that, I'm aware of most of the resources online. You're welcome to talk with me, and just shoot me an email. And remember, if you go to ArtScroll and you purchase any book content between now and, say, the end of this calendar year, you can get a 20% off the list price by just putting in Gavriel 20, Gavriel 20, and you could also call 1-800-MASORA, extension 305. Will get you to our friend Shandy, and she's always happy to help you. And so
nice.
That's it. There's more in store. Any last questions or comments that you might have, Mr. Williams?
Since you were given all these resources, I'll tell you a few that I'm using currently on my phone. There's an app by Rusty Brick. I don't know anything about it. I just know they got a great app. It's called the Hebrew Translator, which I think it works just like very similar to the Do It in Hebrew. And then there's also an app called Biblical Hebrew Vocabulary, and sometimes when I get apps, I'll pay money for them just if they're really good. So I think they were free. I'm pretty sure they were. But if they weren't, it's worth it. It's worth the money to spend on it. Just like the Tanakh Bible is an app that I actually have on here. It's great because it's got the vowels, and you can copy and paste it into places using your smartphone. It's really, really great for just learning and just reading on along. It's quite fascinating. So
you bring up a very good point, and I'll try to make a note to remember that, is to maybe do a segment dedicated to some easy, accessible apps. I also have on my phone, on my smartphone, a number of those types of things. There's one called, in English, I think it's called On Your Way. It's free, Uvelech Lecha B'derech in Hebrew, and it's a library bigger than the floor-to-ceiling ones that I got behind me now.
Wow, that's amazing.
As far as it's got everything, just about everything, and it's free. Some of them are vowel-pointed, some are not, whatever. Some in English, some not. But there's never been a better day to learn. There's no excuse really for not knowing. So,
certainly.
The question is how to focus that, and that's another discussion all in itself. Everybody has to find their own pacing in all of this. So again, if we can be helpful to anybody out there answering any question that we can related to the process of learning Hebrew. I know people were probably looking initially for something that was more, well, you present this and I'll say that, and then that's not exactly what we're doing at this stage of our program. I'm trying to give you knowledge and breadth, exposure to a variety of different places, because we do have now literally hundreds of people that are watching these lessons. And we want to set it up so that everybody can find a place to park their current ability level and go from there. So I ask everyone to say a prayer of chizuk, of strengthening for me. I start the new school year with 139 high school students I'll be working with between grades 9, 10, and I'm skipping 11, going right to 12, teaching different levels of Hebrew as well as Jewish history, modern Jewish history, starting later this week. So pray for me.
That's quite amazing. You have quite the busiest schedule. It makes me feel better when I think about your schedule.
Oh, okay, good. Because I feel when I think about yours similarly. So you're like all over the map. So
mine's
Mr. Music
typically
is coming up here in the background. That's a signal for us to be on our way.
There you go.
To the day.
There you go. Gavriel, thank you so much. Really enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Shalom, everyone. Lehi Tzarot, Shavua Tov.